The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly podcast. Hi, Zack. Hi, Kris.
What's up?
This is take 2 because the first recording fucking sucked ass. We did like 25 minutes in. It was choppy as shit. The internet in my house has been shitty all day today for some reason. I know why. Zack didn't show up because he fell asleep because he was drooling on himself or some shit. This is also a shadow show. Zack, do you know what a shadow show is?
No freaking clue.
Okay, a shadow show is you can't see my fucking face right now. Or yours. Now it's not a shadow show anymore. There you go. By the way, Zachary, congratulations. New home.
Yes, thank you.
With a pool, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guess we'll be there every day now.
Huh?
Guess we'll be there every day.
Next recording live from Zack's pool.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. I might be awake.
Yep. So we got a lot to talk about today on the show. This is gonna be an NBA free agency off season whatever episode here. So much to get to. This is take 2. We did the first episode. Well, it's in the can. I already threw it away, so don't. I may save like a bonus episode. Just like one day we did an episode and it was just choppy as shit, and Kris responded to me like 25 seconds after I asked a question. So, which story intrigues you guys the most right now going into this so far into the 2 days into day 1 free agency?
Oh, man, it's got to be Boston for me.
Boston for you?
Absolutely. You had an owner who was getting forced into having to spend $500 million because he thought he might have a repeat champion, and he got lucky and he doesn't have to spend anything.
That's pretty interesting.
I mean, they literally telegraphed it all. As soon as the previous ownership won a championship, they put the team up for sale. Like, how many other people in any sport have ever tried to sell their team the moment after they won a championship?
Especially like that was a dynasty waiting to happen too, because they had went to the Eastern Conference Finals like 5 years in a row.
Yeah. Isn't it funny though? The last couple of champions we've had 7 champions, 7 different champions the last 7 years, and I would say since 2021. Every team that's won a title, we thought, they can win it again next year or within the next couple of years, and they never do. And they have a tear down. We thought Denver had their core 4, of Jokic, Murray, MPJ, and Aaron Gordon. They won a title. Their core's together the next 3-4 years. They win a title. They're tearing down shit now. Lost a coach. Lost 2 players already. Lost MPJ already.
And the GM.
Yeah, and the GM, right. Look at the Celtics now. They had their entire title team back last year. They should win another title or 2. They've been winning a lot in the last 7 years. Conference finals appearances, all that. Now title, and then now their turn. Now theirs is more financially. There's more financial reason behind that. We kind of knew that even when they won the title last year that this was likely coming anyway. So we're not surprised.
If they won 2 in a row, it would have been interesting to see if they actually fully tear down. But once you lose Tatum for the entire year upcoming, it's time to just shed salary and kind of do a semi-rebuild.
Yeah, the
Not
only
rebuild,
guy they
more like
might have risked
retooling the
getting rid
team.
of was KP beforehand. But now, nah. They were bound and determined to cut all salary possible.
They were going to. I think they were going to tinker on the edges anyway, even if they won a title. I think losing Tatum for a year gave them the excuse to go complete fucking rebuild. And I think already with those 2 transactions already, they are already under the apron, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
They've cut their tax liability by $160 million.
Yeah,
They
crazy,
went from 400 to 240 million. It's amazing.
I'm kind of stunned they were able to do it with relative ease, though. It felt easy.
well, I mean,
Drew Holiday?
the way the East has opened up because of not only Tatum's injury but Halliburton's injury, everyone feels like they're a little step closer. So a team like Atlanta is going to say, "Hey, KP could be a game changer for us. Let's make that move."
Yeah.
The Drew Holiday trade, I was shocked they were able to get done so quickly.
Me
Because
too.
you're talking about a guy who's 36 going into next season, tail end of his career. While he might have shot 40% from the field, he wasn't taking shots. The team was never leaning on him for any
It was
offense.
low volume for sure. Yeah.
So to get rid of a guy like that with his price tag, that was a miracle.
I think Portland saw the writing on the wall that guys like Scoot and Shaden Sharp and their younger players needed a true leader, veteran presence. So, in theory, that move makes no sense. Anthony Simons is last year of his deal, so he's expiring contract. He's young, talented, and a chucker. And, he was on the verge of putting up like all-star caliber numbers, and you trade him for a guy that you originally got 2 years ago anyways, and you moved him when he was closer to his prime, not in his well into his twilight now. But I think they just know that they have too many young pieces. A guy like Drew Holiday is a consummate professional, and no matter what role or usage rate he's in, he's always going to bring it 100% of the time and teach Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, all these guys how to play 2 ways and really, how to be professional.
Yeah, I think Simons actually can make out well in this because, you know what? Last year of his deal, he's in a situation where they're going to need his scoring. And if he has a great year, he could probably get another big contract next summer.
That could go really sideways for him, too.
Why do you say that?
Just you have a guy like Peyton Pritchard and kind of guys who fill that role already. So if he comes in trying to bring that mentality and he's just not fitting in with Joe Mazzulla and those guys, he could easily look like a total just almost like a cancer type if he comes in with just a wrong mentality there.
I mean, you're trying to play 3 points a game at this point now in Jason Tatum. So if he can give you 19, 20 a game and Pritchard gets
but White and JB can both pick up a lot of that scoring slack. And like I said, Payne Pritchard gets more minutes. You got a lot of guys that can pick up that scoring slack. So if he tries to come in and just be that guy and tries to beat Jason Tatum, there's going to be some problems there.
That's the season 2 and Derek White's not there anymore. Who knows?
Oh, stop.
To me, he fits in perfect because he shoots, 9 threes a game, and Joe Mazzulla believes in shooting 60 a game. He believes the team should take more threes than 2s in a game. So, I mean, a guy who takes 9 threes a game, scores 20 points a game, he fits in perfect in this system, especially in a final year. He's looking to get $40 million next year and 2 years from probably Washington. Or maybe even, I hate to really say it, but Orlando. Because, good Lord, they have no guards that can score.
So, we'll get to another team here. The Bucks made some noise today where they signed Miles Turner. I saw the transaction oh, great, Miles Turner. If Dame is back, by All-Star break, maybe they could make a last run with the Eastern week. And then we find out that, oh, no, they signed Turner because they waived Dame, gave him a stretch provision to facilitate that transaction, and now we're back to square one. Are we shocked?
I mean, put it this way. I think the largest stretched out contract at the time was a 3 years of like $9 million a year. Like it was a $27 million deal got stretched out. This was $113 million getting stretched is insane. To have $22 million in dead cap for 5 years is mind-boggling.
It is insane. It is. It really is.
So,
I mean, I think it really shows you how much of a mistake it was to go after him to begin with. You were hoping someone at the tail end of their career was going to be a spark on offense.
Oh, here comes the Dame. Here's the Dame hate now.
No, he honestly was. He never fit in. He never tried to fit in that organization. He expected everybody to work around him, and it just was never going to happen. You don't get to come to a team when you're the second fiddle star, and you left a team where you never led them to anything. Anything.
Wait, so it's not the fact that he also got hurt. Giannis got hurt in the playoffs too. Also, that hurt this 2-year run. Come on, Zach. Be a little mean there.
Be mean? Okay. Hey, I'm giving you $55 million a year. Guess what? I need you to step up if the other guy's not there.
He averaged 25 points a game.
He did nothing for the team. You can average 25, but if you are the point guard and you initiate no offense for the rest of your team and you just stand there, you are not helping, Ernest.
He never really looked like a good fit. Like,
No.
it's for whatever reason.
He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there anyway, so it didn't matter. He didn't want to be there.
It was one of those things where it looked like it was. It kind of reminded me of Westbrook and Durant, where it was like a Batman situation, and it was never a Batman Robin situation.
He didn't want to be there. I mean, he wanted to go to Miami, and they sent him to Milwaukee because they had a better package, or they want to try to fuck Pat Riley. Who knows?
Yeah, well, either way, he didn't do anything for that team. They're not hurt by losing him. The question is, you now have no guard offense for your team, and you're trying to replace Brook Lopez with Turner instead. Like, to me, that makes no sense. If I'm gonna buy out that guard for $113 million over 5 years, I'm not gonna go after a big guy right away. I'm probably gonna try and get a guard who can facilitate and score and maybe play some defense.
Yeah, I think you're paying him triple what Brook Lopez signed for virtually the same player, which is a low volume rebounder, high volume shoot, like 3-point shooting stretch 5. That was a pretty decent weak side defender, but you're gaining maybe a touch more athleticism with him over Brook Lopez, who's like 40 years old at this point, but you're sacrificing $27 million instead of Brook Lopez signed for $9 million. Like, it seems like such a linear move. That way, I don't know. I don't see it moving the needle at all.
I mean, the East is weaker now. Indiana's out. Halliburton's. I mean, first off, Indiana trading Miles Turner. I'm not surprised. That wasn't
trade. That was a free agent signing.
I'm not surprised because that guy was in every trade rumor for the last like 3 or 4 years. Anyway,
longer than that, like 7 years.
For the conference finals and the finals, and they're like, "Wait, we're supposed to pay this guy almost $30 million." No. You go and try and find $30 million somewhere else.
I thought it was a great move by Indiana, to be honest.
Let me ask you a question. If Halliburton's got hurt, and let's say whether or not they win the title or not, if they win the title, they keep him still?
No, because they have Obi Toppin who can just step right in at a discount. Get the same amount of rebounds, facilitate a little better. Scoring's going to be about the same.
I mean, he was the longest tenured guy on the team. So does he say we finally did it and now it's time to make money if they won it all? Or does he say, oh, let me try to keep this core together. I'll take a little less money to stay. Who knows what that would have changed, but he left for the money immediately. So there's that.
To me, it's always the money for me. I don't give a shit what it says. Everybody says, "Oh, put a ring, please."
For role players, especially, like he's not option 1, 2, or 3. He's got to get his money when he can.
Yeah, and year 10, big man, they do it now when you could. You know? So I mean, that's another. What else? LeBron opted in his deal with the Lakers. Now, a lot of folks think could be a precursor to a possible trade or a trade request.
Bullshit.
I mean, I'm just saying what people are saying out there. I think this is LeBron's last year in the league personally, but it's my opinion. I've been saying it for the last couple months now that I think he retires with this year, but I could be wrong. My thing is, how was LeBron and his people getting off about like trying to put pressure on on the Lakers when they've done everything they could to keep that guy whole? They literally just gave you Luka Doncic, the top player in the league. The fuck you want now?
They drafted his son.
And his son. Why are you even trying to pick? Fuck, that past the rest of she's doing for years. I understand it, but now 41 years old, you want to pull that shit now? That's annoying as hell.
I think it's annoying to take that $52 million cap hit when you're going into age 20. I get it. He's putting up the stats to make it deserve it, But, man, help the team out. Like, it's always been, LeBron's always sacrificing. He left like $2 million on the fucking table last time when he signed that original deal that he's opting into now. It's like, guy, I mean, you could take a little less money to really put a fucking team around you. You're mad that Brooke.
I mean, if you care about winning, of course, if you care about winning titles, which you say you do apparently, but I'll take all the money too also. You can't have both ways, dude. You can't have both ways.
They're mad that Brooke Lopez signed with the Clippers. Well, if he would have freed up a little more cap space, he would have signed with the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not going anywhere because he still wants to hold out and play with his son for one more season.
He's not going.
And no one wants to trade for his son. They're like, no, I don't care what you're giving us. We're not taking your son also. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he was like maybe 3-4 years ago, not now.
It's like Thansis on the Bucks, They keep him on there.
I was just gonna say that. Example. I was just gonna say that. The Lakers in the pecking order of the Western Conference. We all agree OKC's better than they are. We probably agree Houston's better than they are. We probably agree Denver's still better than they are right now, currently constructed. So are they number 4 in the West?
I think
Minnesota's better than.
I would say you can definitely put Minnesota there too.
Okay, that's 4. Okay,
but
the Clippers.
To me, Luka and LeBron full first season together now,
and slim Luka too. He's very slim.
And AR still seeing how he fits in. I think the key is trying to get all three of these 3 guys are all like ball dominant guys. Like obviously LeBron can play off the ball, so can AR, but when all 3 of those guys get the ball in their hands, their stats all go up with their usage rate, volume and whatnot, and at a very efficient rate. To see who's going to step up and kind of figure out what they're going to do is going to be interesting.
Go ahead, Zach.
No, I mean, I don't think Luka and LeBron work as a championship team. I thought it did last year, just because I thought they were going to have the size to compete. Now they can bring in a center again, that maybe will help, but at this point, I think it is. They are ball dominant, and they're always on the court together. When you watch Luka with not just Kyrie from 2 years ago, but Brunson from 3 years ago, they were staggering those minutes so that one was on the court while the other was off. And it allowed that team to grow and flourish. You make Luka have to play alongside LeBron, he doesn't get to control and dominate the ball the way he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, at best they're the 5th best team in the West, and no team should cow down to LeBron.
He's lost that at this point now. You mentioned the Rockets. Kevin Durant. What are the Rockets at now with this move now? Because I was impressed with that trade. The only piece I would say was remotely valuable in that deal they lost was Dillon Brooks. I thought Dillon Brooks had a good 2 years there in Houston, actually, all considering how things ended in Memphis. But other than that, you give the 10th pick in the draft. You give up Jalen Green, who, let's be real, overrated shit. I think all three of us agree on that one. They keep their core together. The Thompson twins still there. Sengun's still there. Van Vliet's still there. Going to get an extension very soon. This is they have a window here, a 2-year window to win a title. Is this team right there, OKC number 2 in the West, or what?
No.
No.
They were right where they were last year. First round exit. Okay. We're talking about KD now. We're not talking about a winner, a guy who leads his team. We are talking about KD. He's a first-round guy. That's all you're getting with this.
You're putting all the blame on Phoenix's bullshit on Kevin Durant?
I'm sorry, but how many years do you have to go and keep making excuses for what is happening to KD's team without putting some of the blame on KD? All right, dude hasn't played defense in 5 years. Don't tell me he can't be a two-way player, because he can't. He can't play two ways for more than 3 minutes like LeBron does. All right, that's it. All right, he doesn't even want to take shots anymore. He's gonna come down to probably 15 shots a game this year. He might put up 20, 25 points, but he doesn't want to take any shots. He doesn't want to have to be in the clutch moment. He wants to feel zero pressure. He wants to act like this is a pickup basketball game at a YMCA, and that's why all they're going to be is a first-round exit.
Chris, you agree to tackle this one?
I won't go that far. The real thing that was interesting to me is if you're going to push the chips all in on getting a veteran at the very, very, very end of his career, like KD is at this point right now, why would you give up vets in the trade instead of the younger players that have gotten no rotational time? Reed Shepard, 3rd overall pick, killed in Summer League, got such inconsistent minutes, could never find his groove in the league this year, was just he was my fucking rookie of the year pick, was absolutely atrocious because he wasn't getting any minutes. You know, you have so many Jabari Smith Jr., guys who have gotten inconsistent minutes. Maybe ship those guys and keep Dylan Brooks. Obviously, Jalen Green had to go because he was the most valuable piece because he's still on the younger, high upside potential side. And for Phoenix on the other end, why take on a vet like Dylan Brooks who comes with his, villainous activities when you could just get young rotational pieces that can flourish instead of kind of staying in a win now mode when you have to rebuild? That team, they're trying to not rebuild and trying to still win. I don't know if that's the right move, especially because you might have to stretch that Brad Beal contract. I mean, I just don't see it. They've stockpiled on center, so I have no clue what the fuck Phoenix is doing.
How stretch that though if he has the no trade clause and he says no, leave me alone?
The real question is, Phoenix, really? You already have Bradley Beal there. He sucks. You really want to bring in Jalen Green, another trash player? Like, if I was Phoenix making that trade, I'd be like, look, I want the 10th pick, but I am not taking Jalen Green. I'll take whoever else you want to give me on your roster. I don't care who it is. They don't have to be good. But I am not taking Jalen Green off your hands. No way, no how.
I mean, they could have held out for one of the better, younger,
at least Sengun.
Rotational piece. Sengun's not going. He's untouchable, but Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, Reed Shepard, those guys that weren't getting enough minutes, you could have got one of those guys for sure.
But Jalen Green also you could probably also use as a trade piece also too down the road as well. He's young enough.
I think you just have to let him and Devin Booker just chuck everything at this point.
I might cat in the way.
So I feel like, he might get a nice rejuvenated spot, in a new team, and who knows? He's still a number 2 overall pick talent,
No, he's not. That was a terrible draft, and you know what they did? They took a guy who shot 30% from 3 and said, oh, he was a great shooter 1 year in high school. He's going to be a shooter. He can't shoot. Dude still can't shoot 5 years into the league now.
he just has so many like enigmatic games where he either is going to score 30 plus or single digits. And that's so infuriating to have a guy that can literally go 37 points one game and then put up 7 easy the very next.
I'm kind of stunned, actually, that the Nuggets were able to trade Michael Porter Jr. relative ease, actually.
He's still young and in today's positionless game, he fits every wing position with great height, good rebounding, good defensive switchability. His three-point shooting has been atrocious lately, and he too has been super streaky, which is not good. And then he also has that long back history where you might just lose him for a stretch of games for back spasms. You never know what the fuck's going to happen. You might lose him for a whole goddamn season because of that back injury. You know, taller dudes and back injuries are just not a good combination. But at his best, he is, I hate to say like LeBron-esque, but he definitely has that like.
That was the come into the league though. But we saw quickly that he
has a KD ability.
No, I want to say at this point of his career, he's Rashard Lewis at best.
Yes, I agree.
And that's okay, but are you paying Rashard Lewis $40 million a season? Like I said, for Brooklyn,
I think he almost was by the Magic. He was getting paid a shit ton.
Yeah, he was. You're getting an unprotected.
You remember that, Zach, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
You're getting an unprotected first-round pick. You're giving up a guy on a 2-year contract, getting a guy on a 2-year contract, so you're not messing up any window timelines or anything like that. It's very similar players. Cam Johnson, high-volume shooter. I mean, if you can unlock Michael Porter Jr. with more usage, it's not a terrible trade by Brooklyn standards by any means.
What are you unlocking? Oh, he's a fucking jump shooter now. Doesn't do anything else.
Maybe he was tired of just being a catch and shoot guy. Maybe he wanted the ball in his hands more often. Who knows?
So here's the thing. If you're comparing him to Jalen Green and you're looking for a young scorer who might be able to still build around, Michael Porter Jr. is the guy. Now, would I want Michael Porter Jr.? No, because one, injury prone. He seems to have a very low pain tolerance. Two, he's coming with so much baggage right now because of his brother, and it makes you not be able to trust him. All right? You just watched your brother, so Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, watched him get a bag for $120 million. And then he goes out and says, you know what? I'm going to try and bet 10 grand on a basketball game on myself. So that lets you know those two kids don't ever think for their team. They're just selfish little bitches. Now, what Denver was able to do was offload $40 million a year and get $10 million a year back, and it cost them what? Around a 20th pick in next year's draft?
No, it's 2031.
Doesn't get hurt.
2031.
2031 first rounder.
So that's even longer. Why? You don't even have to care then. Yeah. You just got rid of an extra $30 million.
Cam's getting paid, I think, like 23 and 25. So you're shutting about half the salary.
Cam's getting paid $10 million a year. He signed a 10-year, $43 million or 4-year, $43 million deal. He's barely making $10 million.
By the way, so like his last year, he has 2 years on his deal. His next year and the next year after that, his last year in his contract is now it's $4 million total, but $12 million is only guaranteed. $17 million guaranteed he earns an NBA All-Star selection in any of these next couple seasons, fully guaranteed based on performance. So I think that's a partial guarantee in the last year for him. So that's not too terrible for Brooklyn, to be honest with you. And plus, Brooklyn needs anyone. I mean, they're not getting a star, so they need anybody will go.
All I will say, as a Magic fan, I wouldn't trade for anyone from Denver unless it's Jokic. All right, you don't know what you're getting coming from that team when you're playing with the best player in the last 20 years, probably.
Shout out to them re-signing Bruce Brown, though. That's a good pickup.
Hey, real quick. Zach, you hated the Mavericks extending Kyrie Irving. Why?
You gave a guy $40 million a year coming off an injury when there was only one team who had any kind of cap space over $20 million. And you know what team it was? A team he
Brooklyn.
just left. So there was no way he was getting any kind of freaking money.
Yeah, Milwaukee just freed it up. They freed up.
Yeah, they just freed it up. You think they were going to free that money up from Damian Lillard to bring in another guy who wasn't going to play next year?
No, I mean,
Yeah, no other team was going to give him $120 million. Like,
they were
it's
doing
just,
the right thing.
it's not doing the right thing. You're screwing your franchise.
How?
Okay, you trade the one or two best players in the league to get back an injury-prone player. And you're like, we're doing that to win now. Wait, you went to the finals and you trade away that guy who is an MVP candidate for street clothes. And what does street clothes do in game one?
Gets hurt.
Prove why he is street clothes. Then you decide to give $40 million a year to another guy who is also always in street clothes, whether it's because of injury or personal beliefs. You are not doing anything to help your franchise other than make it look like the NBA is rigged when you get Cooper Flag with less than 2% chance.
You realize that the egregious part of the Luka trade wasn't even them trading Luka. It was more so what they got back for him. They got nothing back for him.
Unless you're trading him for Giannis or Joker, there is nothing you're getting back for him worthwhile.
The thing is, one first, or fucking Desmond Bain can get back 4 or 5 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Hello.
Gobert can get you 5 first-round picks. Like, there's so many guys in this league have gotten so many picks, and you get back one along with AD. I get it. AD is a sensational top 5 potential.
He's a top 10
talent
when he's on.
But he's more so on the top 10, 15 spectrum because of the injury risk. You got to get more than one pick back. There's just no fucking way. Or like another young talent, like just to get back that's crazy. It's unreal for a top. No matter how much you fucking hate him, you're never gonna put him lower than like 5.
Luka?
Yeah,
absolutely, no question. And now he's slim.
The thing maybe you say, oh, we're afraid of his work ethic and giving him $70 million a year. Who knows? But
and see, you don't even have to really worry about the money thing because they cost him $100 million by trading him when they did trade him. So to say, oh well, who's gonna take Luka's contract and Luka's money? He got screwed out of $100 million because of this trade. And all you have to do is give up street clothes and a draft pick. Come on.
Street clothes.
That's the only thing Stephen A's ever come up with.
No, was that Stephen A or was that Charles Barkley?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Charles Barkley. So, yeah, Stephen A still hasn't done shit. My bad.
Damn.
Speaking of $70 million, SGA is getting that for the next 4 years. That's a lot of money, but we'll observe.
Actually, yes. SGA got the annual biggest contract in NBA history. I
don't fault that deal though.
Kris hates it apparently.
It's just a lot of money for one dude. That's a lot of money for one guy, man.
Welcome to his NBA, buddy.
If you told me you were giving that to Jalen Williams, I'd be up here screaming like crazy. You're giving it to SGA, who doesn't really get hurt, always shows up, always plays. I have.
Oh, by the way,
no
Zach, I don't know if you heard, he won a title.
What? I'm gonna have to slap an asterisk on that, just like Miami making it to the finals during COVID.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Look, man, he He deserves
everything
it.
changed when Halliburton went down. So
I agree. They probably still win though, but it'd be a lot tougher.
really,
Yeah.
It's just gonna be tough to keep that core together now. Like, what's Jalen Williams gonna get, and what's Chet gonna get? Isaiah Hartenstein's already getting a lot of money, but the timeline's gonna fit to where his contract's gonna run out. So, kind of works out, I guess. But this is a lot of money for one guy. I understand that in basketball, one guy makes a huge difference, but 71 plus is nuts.
that contract cost him Lou Dort. That's what it cost him. Because
It cost him Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins. Oh, it's going to cost them all those guys. Aaron Wiggins, they're all gone. Cason Wallace, they're all gone.
Cason Wallace is a freaking rookie. He's there for the next 3 years.
That's true.
That's the thing. It's really only costing him Lou Dort.
Yeah, now I'm talking about 3 years from now. That's extension's going to be kicking in.
But
3 years from now, they'll have used 7 other first-round draft picks. So
they're the team. Like we kept saying last couple of years. Oh, Milwaukee win a title. They don't win it. Denver, same thing. Ball, same thing. Maybe it's OKC to win a title next couple of years because of the assets and everything else they have around it.
Or Dagenal's going to be gone after 2 years, like Vogel and like Mike Malone and like Budenholzer.
And Mazzulla after this year too. Also.
oh, absolutely. Mazzulla's probably going to be gone.
I hope
he didn't buy a house.
It's so crazy that coaches get maybe a year or two tops. But to be fair, they're getting the same roster back. But man, it's so nuts that back in the day, dude, a ring will get you 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
Now you're not getting 2. You're gone.
I mean, there no more. This is the anti Doc Rivers now.
It's so crazy.
Doc Rivers has gotten what 18 years out of that 08 title, 17 years out of 08 title.
Dude, just think, these old coaches, Lenny Wilkins, Don Nelsons of the world, dude, they're getting 10 years before they even had to win a ring. Like, it's so crazy. Rick Adelman, like, these guys didn't have to win rings, and they had job security.
So is SGA, is he top 3 in the league now?
He was top 3 last year.
Right. So I mean, you have obviously Jokic, Giannis, SGA, right?
I would put SGA ahead of Giannis.
I'm putting Luka.
Hell no, he ain't going to get ahead of Giannis. Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. He plays better defense at this point. Causes less problems.
Stop that. It is
I
firmly.
won't go that far, but yeah.
You can go Joker, Giannis, whatever order you want to go with those two, but no one's supplanting
Giannis ain't going in front of Joker, and he ain't going in front of SGA anymore.
Yes, he is.
Well, we all agree he's top 3, though, right?
Yeah.
I think it's debatable between him and Luka, but yeah.
I don't know what's debatable. I was debatable at this point now. He's done more than Luka. Well, he's more dependable than Luka at this point.
There you go.
Luka's top 5, sure.
Yeah, Luka's 4.
SGA's past him. Can't break it to you. Won an MVP. Oh, by the way, and a ring in OKC, bro. And that's also what's back-to-back 6-win seasons too. On top of that. Oh, by the way, in a tough West.
I mean, OKC's definitely been a contender for a decade now. I mean,
wait, what, a decade? Not a decade.
All those Westbrook and KD fucking teams.
But they fell off a couple of years, though.
That was like 2015 at this point now.
Dude, what are you talking about, bro?
Dude, CP3 fucking Thunder teams and playoff.
They weren't competing for anything with CP3.
Playoff P era. Come on, man.
Let's stop doing your CP bullshit this conversation now.
Sabonis, Oladipo era. Come on, man. Don't be trying these guys.
I forgot Sabonis played there, actually. I forgot about that. Fucking A. Hey, guys, are the Knicks stupid again?
Oh, hell yeah, they are. I mean, Kris celebrated when Tibbs got fired, but look.
I just called it. I celebrated me calling it. I said there's no – when Mikal Bridges, the only Iron Man left in the league who's consistently playing 82 games, and he's like, bro, this guy's fucking running us into the ground. You know there's no shot he's staying. all the blame is going to go on
wishing he
him.
was playing during the playoffs. He
They,
didn't show up for shit against
this
the
man's
Knicks.
playing a 6-7 man rotation all
In
year
December.
long.
In
Like,
December.
what the fuck are we doing, man?
What are we doing?
This guy is not like
Look,
You're trying to
Jalen
win.
Brunson and Cat. Their usage ratings are like 40%. Like, what are we doing?
I don't disagree with them firing Thibodeau, but you gotta. And look, here's the thing: you gotta have a plan in place for this shit once it happens. And there's no doubt they had this guy. They decided on firing this guy back in fucking March. Okay, barring him them win the championship or at least get to the finals, he was getting fired. So all of a sudden now you fire the guy, which by the way I congratulate that because you know what? It's so good foresight. But now what? You go and start poaching other coaches? Hey, can we have your coach? No, next. Hey, can I have your coach? No, next. Have your coach?
Yeah, and
What are
that's
you
the
doing, bro?
He's asking to interview coaches who've never won, whereas there's like 4 coaches in the last 5 years who've won a championship without a job, and they're like, you know what? Okay, we can't get any of these NBA coaches. Let's go to the women's college basketball and ask this chick to come coach us.
Don Staley?
Yeah. The guys are gonna really respect her after they just got rid of Tibbs.
You know what though? I want to see that shit play out.
Yeah. What total mutiny?
You want James Dolan to change his image as a governor of the Knicks? Hire her. They win a title next year because they're good enough to win a title with that roster.
No, they're not. They're not even good enough to come out of the East.
Oh wait, are we actually debating that?
Yeah.
Because my attitude right now going next year is that the New York Knicks right now with Boston, Milwaukee, and Indiana all compromised now, they have no more excuses.
Here's their excuse. We got no coach.
Bro, we had a draft. We had free agency ready so far, and didn't have a coach yet. Now, it looks like Mike Brown might be the favorite when the job. Another retread, you know.
Oh, that's got to make you feel real successful if you bring in Mike Brown.
I just think James Dolan really went in with this fucking bravado thinking, who's going to turn down our job? We've got such star-studded fucking starting lineup. We'll be able to fire him and go in without a plan because we're the fucking New York Knickerbockers and everyone's going to want to sign here. And you know what? Even if you're not allowed to interview, you throw an idea out like, oh, hey, we are looking at you, J Kid. You going to come over here? Nope. Everyone said fuck off. So it makes them look really bad right now. They are so thirsty. They're so desperate.
They're for real. It's so fucking bad, bro. It is so bad. They're dumb again. They're dumb.
And I don't know. And everyone's saying, oh, it's the best job out there. This and that. I'm like, they don't control a first-round pick for fucking forever because Mikal Bridges was worthy of 4 of them. And you have a shit ton of salary cap signed to 4 guys, and you're kind of just married to those 4 guys at this point. Who knows? I mean,
exactly. If your salary cap's tied up in 4 guys, don't you want those 4 guys on the court all the freaking time? Like, I'm paying you. I want my money's worth.
Are there any other transactions that stood up? I saw Duncan Robinson sign with the Pistons today.
Sign and trade. It's fucking crazy. Karis LeVert also signed with Detroit. Detroit's an interesting little team, but then they're also about to lose Malik Beasley to the gambling police coming through.
Why are these players so fucking stupid? Oh, I'll never get caught.
And it's always for 10, 20 grand. Like you're making millions, but you need 10, 20 grand. Like Michael Vick, can you do an intervention for these NBA players?
Seriously. Ridiculous, dude. Doug Robinson has been real. Anything else?
Right now, I would take the Magic and Detroit over the Knicks reaching the finals out of the East.
Mean, I know Cole Anthony and the Grizz are talking about either releasing him or trading him somewhere, so that'll be interesting to see. I'm sad because I wanted him to actually get some PT there and be our 6.
Oh yeah, about the Grizzlies. So they about to sign Triple J to that max deal.
$240 million for that guy.
How you feeling about that, Kris?
for a 3-and-D fucking stretch 4. It's fucking disgusting. We're gonna be mediocre for the next
But you know what?
5 years.
They gotta do it though. You know why?
You don't have to do. No, you don't have to do it.
They gotta do it. I'm gonna tell you why they gotta do it. They don't draw stars. Stars don't want to play there. Memphis is dangerous. Okay.
Yeah, the best players whipping out guns constantly.
Man,
you gotta keep Ja.
Your best player could go Gilbert Arenas at any point.
gotta keep him. They're gonna trade him anyway, but they gotta keep him.
No, I think. Like, you would think a team who had the same move at Mike Conley a few years ago, and then you just saw like the team just being so mediocre. And it's like, why keep going back to the same well? Like, the good teams let their mediocre guys walk. Obviously, someone's going to sign. There's no one allegedly had any cap room, but you could have signed and traded him, and someone would have found a way to make some cap. You let them test the market. Let them figure it out. But I'm never paying and he's not even like, when Marc Gasol won like Defensive Player of the Year, it was for like, he was such a leader on the court, team defense. He got everyone in the right positions. It wasn't because his accolades. Like when Triple J won it, it was because like, oh, he got like 3 blocks a game on the help side, like the weak side. He's not a stud one-on-one defender. He gets backed down all the time. He gets fucking schooled in the post. Like, I don't understand. He gets in a shit ton of foul trouble, too, because he still leaves his feet too early. I don't understand it. He can't create his own offense. I mean, some games he gets hot from 3 and whatnot, and it kind of stretches out the floor for him. He can face up a little bit more, but he's just – you can't give max money to, like – at best, he's a 2A. At the very max potential,
I agree.
He's a 2A.
Nah, he's a B at best. What he is a slightly better scorer than Gobert, and that's it.
Man,
but in the end, the real Defensive Player of the Year got hurt 30 games into the season. No one was gonna give it to Gobert for a 5th freaking time. They weren't going to give it to anyone on OKC because they want to call it team defense. So that's where he landed. And he profited from it. But here's a real question, Kris. Which contract's worse? Triple J's or SGA?
No, give me SGA for fucking $100 million before I take Triple J for what?
Thank you.
40.
Maybe calm down about SGA's contract now.
Exactly.
No, because this one guy's not worth 71, but he's not worth 48. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your B player is never worth almost 50.
Yeah, that's just a fact. If Jaw's getting that deal, so be it. But him, no fucking way.
All right, well, last thing's out of here. I know it's late. Any NBA draft takeaways?
I like that Danny Ainge / his son wasn't going to get bullied by a star player saying, I don't want to fucking play there. And they just took him anyways. And he came to the realization that these guys are never going to call your bluff, dude. Like, and there's been so many teams, and Charlotte's one of them, that took Con Knuckle before Ace Bailey. And they said, oh, you don't want to be here? Then we're not going to take you. But he saw Ace Bailey's going to show up because he's going to see the writing on the wall and say, hey, there's going to be a chance for me to fucking chuck here and put him some stats. Might all be on a terrible fucking team, but take the place where they're lacking your position. You can come right in and take as many shots as you want. You're going to be the front runner for rookie of the year because Cooper Flagg's got to deal with, a couple other mouths to feed first. Well, maybe not because Kyrie's hurt. Street clothes will probably be on the DL immediately, so maybe he's going to be putting up some stats too. But at the end of the day, Ace Bailey, he showed up. But so many guys have tried it before. Steve Francis, there's tons of guys have done it, and it typically works for them. So he didn't work out for a single team. Not one team in the top 5 that he worked out for. Because he wanted to, and the funny thing is he wanted to go to Washington, which is absurd because they've been shit for so long.
He figured he'd get the ball to score, though.
Yeah, but Utah's going to get the opportunity too. Charlotte was the only team where, yeah, you're fighting Brandon Miller and LaMelo, but
Nah, the surprise for me is I don't know if I want to root for the Pelicans to be good, so that the draft pick they gave up isn't amazing, or do I want Brooklyn to suck so bad that they cost themselves the number 1 pick in the draft?
Hmm.
You know, I mean, how do you give up an unprotected first just to go up to 13th?
it's crazy.
So those last two teams have
Let me tell you something. If you're drafting at 7 and 13, you're not a good team. It's just a fact. Like, you're not a good team. And they made so many roster moves, which Jordan Poole for CJ McCollum, what the fuck are they thinking? Like,
Yeah, you could have finally had some cap room, but nobody wants to go to New Orleans either. So
I know, but is that the gamble you want to go with DeJounte Murray and Jordan Poole? That's your backcourt?
Supposedly it is.
That team, everybody might be up for on the trading block come next January.
And then, of course, they're like, we want 7 first rounders for Trey Murphy. And it's like, oh God, I don't know what they're doing in New Orleans at all.
They need to contract that team.
They do.
I'm moving fucking Seattle.
I agree.
Seriously, that's so badly run.
or Vegas.
Just trade Zion, call it a day. Like, seriously, what are we doing though? What are we doing? So
I don't. Yeah,
If they move it to Vegas, LeBron would retire tomorrow.
Probably.
He'd be like, I'm gonna buy into that team.
Probably. Anything else you missing? Anything else?
Phoenix stockpiling centers. You know, they drafted one at 10, traded for another one. So now they traded for both of Charlotte's centers.
I like Mark Williams. I think that was the dumbest thing LA did was not keep that trade.
But he failed the physical, didn't he?
It didn't matter.
If you want to pass somebody, Ernest, it's your team doctors, Ernest. If you want to pass somebody, you can pass somebody. I mean, this team doctors, not like it's some third party guy saying fuck off. Like,
okay, I'm just saying.
But yeah, to be like, wow, Charlotte's been a terrible team. This trade for Nick Richards and then trade for Mark Williams and then draft another guy at 10. It's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
It's very strange because none of those guys can really play the floor. They're actual centers.
So I was seeing the other day before we got here that they're probably right now realistically only like maybe 5 or 6 teams that are real top contenders. Knicks, Cavs, obviously Thunder, Rockets, Nuggets.
I think if you put the Nuggets up there, you have to put the T-Wolves there.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you have to.
They're keeping the team together. Are they good enough to get over the hump with that roster, or do they need a leap from Anthony Edwards to make that over the hump to make that happen?
I think it comes down to matchups, really. Who you get matched up with.
I mean, that is important. They lost Nikhil Alexander-Walker, who just had a monster season for them. It's interesting to run back the same team. You keep Naz Reid for 5 years. You're keeping Julius Randle for 3 years.
Oh, Randle resigned?
Yeah,
3 years, $100 million.
Oh, he took a haircut, I guess. Unless he got offered nothing more than that, I guess.
I mean, that's like what your Robin should get paid.
Yeah,
like that's
between 30 to 40 mil max.
You know, that's your standard Robin pay.
Their third option getting 25.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
The only room they have for improvement is so last year they traded up in the draft to take Rob Dillingham at 9. He has star potential. He did not get a lot of playing time. If Mike Conley, if you're going into the season with him as your starting point guard, you're never going to be a real contender. If you give the reins to this kid, top 10 pick, he balls out, and then you still have Mike Conley, show him the ropes, and to come in as that veteran presence off the bench, perfect. But if you're just going to trek out that same team, they're not going to win it all, because Ant can only do so much. Gobert can only do so. Like, these guys are all maxed out at this point. Like, Ant, what's the next step for him? Going like full fucking Jordan mode?
I was just getting that now. So we agree. Top 4 players in the league are, obviously Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Luka, in no other order. But we all agree that's the 4. Is Ant number 5?
No, it's not consistent.
Now that Tatum is hurt, like, you probably would have put him there. But the thing about it was the Celtics are losing that series with Tatum healthy. So, I mean, the problem we've had with Tatum, we've had him at like teetering between 5 to 8.
7, 8, yep.
Yeah, for years now, is because he just disappears sometimes. Granted, maybe it's because he has JB there, but he disappears sometimes, and it's really consistent.
JB there, and people didn't want to give him enough credit.
I had
Kris.
I had number 6. Come to the year, I had number 6 actually. So,
but I mean, I would never be able to put Ant 5. I'd put Brunson at 5 way before I'd think to put Ant there.
I think he's in contention strongly at that 5 spot. But he's doing so much at this point for that team. So the only guy on that roster you look at is going to be Dillingham. He has to be the guy to take the next step for that team. So, but he also has to get the opportunity. Like, I wasn't that impressed with Finch as a head coach, to be honest. Especially for like the Knicks come calling for him. It's crazy to me. But
I mean, if you put him in top 5, it's probably, but in most cases it's by default because of removing guys off the list I had before. So, for example, this looks bad now in hindsight, but I have Joel Embiid number 5 last year before he even started.
Yeah.
Obviously,
well, I think we all had him up high because we didn't realize that guy was that frail.
Not Kris. Kris on number 12 last year. Kris is proven right. Availability matters, brother. I mean, you can probably put Wemby in that spot, but Wemby with the blood clots, got to see how it comes back from that first. So he's probably gonna be off that for the time being for 1 year. So I mean, maybe get back to Steph Curry again.
Nah,
maybe it's Curry again by default.
Curry's playing next to Butler. He's gonna have to carry the team even more.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they do going forward. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, I'm good.
Kris?
No, just yeah.
All right, back to the Shadow Show. Until next time.